Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, P Funk. Thinking right out here in my lab. I've been gone for a couple of days, but I'm back home, able to do what I do for you. Trying to get this thing trimmed up and go see Uncle Leroy. But let's do it. Wrightism 25 rules to live by. Storytelling. Story with a message. Message in a story for life. I give life lessons. You tuned in to receive them, so I guess I'm doing a good job. Let's rock. Right thinkers mission. Yeah, and I'm on it is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinking is way of life, and it is a way of life through mental and spiritual discipline, daily lifestyle, will help and guide you to obtain your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. That's my mission for all my right thinkers to do just that, know themselves. So I asked you the question that you had to answer for yourself. Know thyself is the question. One of these persons are you. You had to figure that out for yourself. One of them is me too. All right, let's go. I was all of them at one time. We all was eventually. When you get to the bottom, that's how it's done. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not, foolish. We all have done that. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not. Simple. You teach them. That's why I do what I do. For you, stay tuned. I got you. A person who knows not and believes that they know is dangerous, most likely religious, but avoid them. I do. A person who knows but knows not that they know is asleep spiritually. I can wake them up spiritually with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons, they reside in you. Right thinkers know thyself. So thyself might not be true. Excuse me. Whoa. All right, been a minute. Today, it is evening, early morning, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, today we're going to talk about right thinkers. Let's talk about Wrightisms. Okay, my family quotes. And over the years, stuff that I've picked up over the years, my little personal stuff, that's what the original writing is, my quotes, my philosophical points of view. Today we're going to talk about some elders' quotes and some of mine. Stuff that I grew up with. Ancient times, they would call them parables. When somebody made a statement that nobody could understand, oh, he's speaking parables. No, he make a statement that you're going to take a little while to seep in. You got to put your thinking cap on to get the concept. Some of them I break down for you. Some of them is pretty much self-explanatory. That's the point. Let's go. Quotes are to give you a message, and hopefully you get the message. And sometimes they ring with you. Sometimes ain't no big deal. But let's go. Yes, I have some old sayings. hmm Wise words of from my elders, real life quotes that I lived with and heard over the period of my life when I was young. I used to always listen to my elders. Okay. I was a quiet kid. That's why nobody minded me being around the elders. Why? I stayed in my place. I knew my role, so to speak. And in life, that's important to know your role. Quick lesson there. Subliminal. All right, let's go. My favorite. My grandmother would always tell me, we going to hell in a handbasket. Thanks, Granny. Because for a long time, I just thought that was the funniest thing. And as I started getting old, it started making sense. That's when you know you're getting wiser and you've been around a little while because the saying that you heard as a kid, you start to say them, they still ring true. That's why they don't get old if it wasn't true. Let's go. Now, my favorite. I don't know whether the shit or go blind. That's my old man's classic. And that let me know that if you're in that state, you done something pretty bad to be there. Because when I finally figured out what it meant in my life, it wasn't a good place to be. And if you don't know whether to shit or go blind, you're in a world of, like my man said, Full Metal Jacket. That's a world of shit because your options ain't too good. I'm just saying. All right, here you go. Now this is the classic. This too soon shall pass. I never went to my mother with a sad story or, looking for some motherly affection. No, no. My Dukes, just what you gonna get. And I always, I cringe. Now I got to smile because I get the same message to my kids. Thanks, Ma. All right, here you go. Now, when I was out in the streets talking trash and thinking I was somebody, these are some of the things that I was to come up with. I graduated from the College of the Streets. I got a PhD in how to make ends meet. Meaning, I know how to make money. I can put together a hustle and I can get paid. That's just old school philosophical points of view that I picked up. One of my favorites. All right. Then I had one say, yeah, I also got a PhD from Freak Out University or Tons of Fun University. But this is all trash talking. Back in our day, that's what it was about. You swift flipping, you talking trash. Ego tripping, talking trash about yourself. Body snatchers when you got somebody who buy into your nonsense. There's a lot of that going on back there. Okay? The slicker you talk, the quicker you can think and outmaneuver, the quicker people fall for your nonsense. All right, let's go. Some more right quick. Talking fast, talking trash, trying all they want from you is your cash. If you got a woman and she's quick on the lip, oh, she gaming. Okay. Oh, trust me, fellas. Big button smile. This ain't new. I heard the boys in the 80s saying that never trust a big button smile. My man, we said that in the 70s. I could have told you that. Is she swift flipping and ego tripping, talking fast, talking trash? All she want from you is your cash. They call it the slick. They come in female packages too, fellas. All right. Back in my old time again, when I was doing my thing, I was soft talking. I had a rap that was so sweet. The ladies would call me the candy rapper. I thought I was cool. I thought I was smooth. I had rap. I had game. I had a bunch of BS. He didn't know it. I gotta laugh because it was funny. Back in my day, again, I was the only one who was really cool. That's why they called me the dude. I dipped my hip, I glided my stride. Oh, I had it all. Everything I needed, I had it at my disposal. And the phrase was, if you had it, would you flaunt it? I had it. I flaunted it. I had fun. But it comes with its consequences too. I would be your mama, your daddy. I'd also be that nigga who would rob you in the alley. I used to be a stick-up man. Not proud of that. Part of my life. But I had to do what brother had to do. I ain't proud of that one. But yeah, you know what it is. If you was the one who heard that phrase, I'm sorry. All right, let's move on. Now, if it got you high, I had all you could buy. I was the pusher man. If it was drug related, I had it. Pusher man. Again, not proud of the business I was in, but that's what I was doing. I was a businessman, and drugs was my commodity. I'm still, what? Oh, now I'm still a businessman. Now I just work for God. No drugs, just knowledge and information that you can use to better yourself, aka right thinking philosophy. Let's go. I'm feeling good about this one. Here you go. Knowing thyself is the greatest knowledge of all. Mhm. That's okay. Knowledge of all. That's a phrase from my man, Muhammad Ali, the greatest of all. When you find God, you find the greatest love of all. I'm stopping at that and I'm moving on. Here you go. Now, life is like riding a bike. As long as you keep your balance and moving forward, you good to go. A la my yacht. Okay, straightforward. You stay in balance, stay the course, you good to go. You'll hit the mark every time. Don't be a sinner and miss the bullseye. Hit the message I'm trying to give to you. That's hitting the mark again. Talking without thinking. I like this phrase. I just threw this one in there. It's like shooting the gun without aiming. Some of y'all get it, some of y'all won't. But for those who don't, let me explain to you. If you come out your face without thinking, it's like a guy pull out a gun without aiming and just start shooting. Somebody could get hurt philosophically. All right, here you go. Now, to be your best self, you have to what? Know yourself. That's a Mark Wrightism. That's classic me. Why? I've always known who I was, even when I was doing wrong. It didn't make a difference to me. But when you know yourself, whatever you're doing, you're prepared to suffer the consequences of your actions. So understand that. Don't want to and don't want to be able to. No, no, no. My afraid. Matter of fact, when I was coming up, if you can't do the time, don't. If you can't do the time, don't do a crime. Why? Because if you go to jail, that's what niggas be. Excuse me. That's a lot of them, fall short. Well, yeah, okay, but again, if you're gonna do it, be responsible for it. What I'm doing now, I'm fully responsible for this. I ain't got no problem with this at all. I can handle all this. I handle that. This is kid stuff. All right, moving on. Let me get this message across. All right. Wait, okay. Now, to believe in someone or something with no proof, we call that religion. A well-dressed lie. I was a well-dressed, slick-talking somebody back in my day. And for all those who fell for it, I'm sorry, but that's what it was about. On the streets, you play. In life, you still gotta play. But if you don't know the rules, you can't win. Understand that. Watch this. Now, knowledge is power. Yeah, but self-knowledge is superpower. Why? Because when you know yourself, you got more power than the average person who just walking around and thinking he knows himself or believing he knows himself. He ain't got much power. Ain't much power in belief. The power is in knowledge, knowing, gnosis. Okay. Wrightisms. Watch this. And I gave that name a long time ago. Why? All my life lessons to live by. And these are motivational quotes, something that I hope to motivate you. If a snake can't shed its skin, it will be what? It will kill itself. Suicide. If you don't change destructive habits, that's why snake can constantly change, shed his skin. He constantly moves around. But we look at him in that aspect. So that means if you don't change, a caterpillar shouldn't die a caterpillar. Again, change. If you don't change to be your best self, you lose at this game of life. Simple as that. Another lesson. Judgment Day tells you about that. Here you go. We are born ignorant, blank sheet. The brain will learn as it goes. We should not die that way. Phrase. Ain't no fool like an old fool. There's some lessons in life that will teach you about life. Hence, life lessons. But we are taught by our parents. We got an education system. We got a whole thing going on. But now we got this here thing here. It's a good thing. It's a good tool. But used the wrong way, it could be a devastating one. So like the tongue, it cuts both ways. Some good, some bad. Double-edged sword. Good one is right, bad one is wrong. Understand that. Those are options in life. My Let's wrap this up. Now, where we at? Okay, now you can't do wrong and expect to get right in return. Another Mark Wrightism. I did a lot of wrong. We did a bunch of wrong. No good ever came of it. Outside of materialistic nonsense that none of that's around today, but the memory. Get back. I'm about to go over there. No, stay over here. All right, here you go. Where we at? All right, in life, again, the lesson is you reap what you sow. Good deeds, blessings. Bad deeds, punishment. End of discussion. Karma, whoever you want to call it. I tell you, karma is God's hitman. God don't come and take care of you. That's karma's job. But to come to the blessing department, he's right there doing what he do for you. Where we at? Okay, in life, when you do wrong, lie, cheat, or steal, let me introduce you to my little friend, karma. I try to explain to my believers if you believe when somebody do something to you, when they wrong you, I had to learn this lesson again myself, the old-fashioned way, the hard way. You have to let it take its course, put it in karma's hand. Vengeance was mine. I would act on my own to repay people for what I thought they'd done to me. Karma, take care of that. Okay, moving on. Okay, what's this? Now, last one. Life lessons, and this is the best part. Life lessons are our best lessons. Learn them, I did. Trust me. I'm doing this to try to save you some of the aggravation of things I went through, mainly the prison stint. I did that for my son. The rest of it, you can take or leave it. But some things you don't want to do. Let me hit you. When you dance to the music, players and all that nonsense, game member, okay, guess what? You're going to have to pay the piper. I was there when my old man got sentenced. The judge talked real slick and grimy. I stood up and got my own sentence. He was just as grimy. He told me either I was a good friend or a damn fool. But anyway, take these 5 years for my wrong act that I was involved in. Long story, that's another lesson. But the bottom line, I stood up and took mine like a man. Okay, so to say, some things everybody talk a good one. It's hard to walk that good walk. Okay, it's that talk. Yeah, I was some thorough. I thought was thorough brothers. When it got time to pay the piper, ain't nobody got no money. I keep cash. All right, here you go. Let me wrap this up. When you're ego driven, you have sold your soul and to your ego conscious, aka set. You're going to do wrong things. You're going to do bad things. That's all the ego know. It don't discriminate. So if you don't conquer that, you're gonna always have fettered life. That means constant drama that you bring on yourself. Another lesson. Let me wrap this up. The term wake up means to become what? God conscious. We got a word called nihas. That's being spiritually awakened, spiritually enlightened. That means you know yourself spiritually and mentally, aka heart, mind, coherence, whatever you want to call it. But you want to have that in this life so you can go on to live in the afterlife, because if not, party's over. So enjoy this while you're here. But don't fall in love with it. Why? It's temporary. I want the other one. That's why I do what I do here, working for that. This concept. If you want to know your higher self, God, do right, Mr. Right, and live right, do right, be right, and he'll come to you. That's how I got mine. He came in, made himself presence, made himself known to me, and what he wanted from me, I ain't deviated since. So everybody got this story. Yeah, I got one too. If you ain't got a God story, you ain't a witness or a true believer. I don't believe, I'm a knower, but I'm a witness. Last one. Now, life lessons. Number one, righteous living gets God attention, not being religious. Understand that. That's my phrase for the day. That's the writers I want you to understand. Being spiritual ain't being religious. Being religious don't make you spiritual. Understand that. I'm spiritual. What are you? I'll be back.